January 10, 2026, three men traveled to Dallas, Texas, for what they understood to be a business meeting at a recording studio. One of them was Radrick Davis, known to the music industry as Gucci Mane, the founder and owner of 1017 Records, one of the most respected rap labels in Atlanta. The meeting had been arranged to discuss recording contract terms. The man who arranged it was one of his own signed artists. What happened inside that studio is now the subject of a federal criminal case. Here is what the Department of Justice alleges happened. 9 men had traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, to Dallas. The operation had been planned in advance. Vehicles had been rented. Travel had been coordinated. When the 3 victims arrived at the studio, the 9 men were already inside. The moment the studio door closed, the alleged plan was executed. One of the 9 produced an AK-style pistol. Gunpoint. One victim was forced to sign a document releasing him from his recording contract. The remaining defendants allegedly displayed firearms and moved through the studio, taking Rolex watches, jewelry, and cash from the other victims. One victim was choked to the point of near unconsciousness. Another had his neck and wrist injured. Then the 9 men left. What they didn't know was that federal investigators would reconstruct every minute of what had happened. The man who allegedly orchestrated this was Lontrell Denell Williams Jr, known as Pooh Shiesty. Let me give you the exact timeline that led to this moment, because context is essential to understanding how we arrived here. Pooh Shiesty had been one of the breakout artists from Gucci Mane's 1017 Records label, joining in 2020. His debut mixtape reached mainstream attention quickly. He was considered one of the most promising voices from the Memphis rap scene. In October 2020, he was involved in a shooting at a Florida hotel. A second incident followed in June 2021. In January 2022, he pleaded guilty to a firearms conspiracy charge to avoid a potential life sentence. 3 charges were dropped as part of the plea deal. He was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months. He served approximately 3 of those years. In October 2025, he was released from a federal prison in Pennsylvania. He was placed into a residential re-entry program at a halfway house in Dallas, Texas. As part of the conditions of his home detention, he was required to wear an electronic ankle monitoring device at all times. He was required not to commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. He was required not to leave the state without authorization. On January 10, 2026, while still on federal home confinement, Pooh Shiesty allegedly traveled to a Dallas recording studio with 8 co-conspirators who had driven from Memphis, Tennessee. The ankle monitor recorded his location. License plate readers tracked the vehicles from Memphis to Dallas. Cell phone records corroborated the travel. Fingerprint evidence was recovered at the crime scene matching at least 2 defendants. And in the hours after the alleged robbery, several of the defendants posted on social media. The items visible in the posts included what appeared to be a 1017 chain, the same chain linked to Gucci Mane's label, and a Rolex. This is the evidence picture federal investigators built. On April 1, 2026, 8 of the 9 defendants were arrested simultaneously across Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. Among those arrested, Pooh Shiesty, his father, Lontrell Williams Sr, who was alleged to have helped plan and coordinate the operation, including renting a vehicle used to transport the group from Memphis to Dallas. Rapper Big 30, known as Rodney Wright Jr, is also among those charged. Prosecutors allege he used his body to barricade the studio door to prevent the victims from leaving during the incident. The 9th suspect, Terrence Rogers, was arrested in Atlanta the following day. All 9 defendants face federal kidnapping charges, which carry a maximum penalty of life in federal prison upon conviction. Have you been following this case? I want to know where you found out about it. Drop it in the comments. What are the questions this case raises? The first is the question of motive. Prosecutors allege that the purpose of the operation was to force a release from Pooh Shiesty's recording contract with 1017 Records. If accurate, this suggests a contract dispute that escalated to a level that is almost without precedent in the music industry. It was reported in 2024 that Gucci Mane had quietly released most of his artists from 1017 Records, with Pooh Shiesty and one other artist, Fujiano, remaining on the roster. Whether this is connected to the alleged incident and what contract pressure may have existed between them is part of what federal prosecutors will argue. The second question is about the planning. This was not spontaneous. 9 men coordinated travel across state lines. Vehicles were rented. Timing was planned. The recording studio meeting had to be scheduled in advance to bring all parties to the same location. Under federal law, the use of interstate facilities, phones, vehicles, travel across state lines in the commission of a crime significantly escalates both the jurisdiction and the potential penalties. The third question is about the ankle monitor. The device designed to enforce federal home detention conditions became the primary corroborating evidence linking Pooh Shiesty to the location of the alleged crime. Prosecutors noted that at the time of the alleged offense, Williams Jr. was on home confinement for a prior firearms conspiracy conviction and had not been authorized to travel or to commit any further federal offense. His ankle monitor documented his presence at the studio location. The fourth question is about what comes next. Pooh Shiesty has been in federal custody since his April 1st arrest. His attorney, Bradford Cohen, who represented him during previous proceedings, has not yet filed a formal public response to these charges. He has not entered a plea as of this report. All defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty. A federal trial, if this case proceeds to one, would represent one of the most scrutinized legal proceedings in hip-hop's recent history. This is Grim Records. We report what is documented, what is alleged, and what the legal record shows. If there are developments in this case, and there will be, we cover them as they come. Leave your questions about this case in the comments. I read everything and respond.